Hey guys, this is Camper 15, and I'm back at it with the Red Wolf for another Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld episode review. And
Guys, we need help.
so, last week, for some reason, last week in terms of anime watching for me was the week of revelations. Well, it didn't stop here this week at all. ReZero has me effed up with this last week of episode of ReZero. Well, Rent a Girlfriend, I love that show. Rent a Girlfriend is crazy. The whole Inca drama BS we've been seeing in Fire Force here, and now SAO this early in the morning has to do it to me again. You know, I thought it was some crazy shit when we saw Quinella like 2-3 weeks ago. You got me effed up now that we get the apparent full backstory of our good man Poe, leader of the Laughing Coughing Guild, who we later find out apparently is related to Kirito in some sort of way.
We think. I mean, they're giving us some big. They're giving us some big ideas here. That he's somewhat related to Kirito.
Anyways, let's get to this damn episode because this episode is cutting up. One, we see first things first. Before you even watch this episode, if you have not seen Sword Art Online or Nail Scale the movie, before you even watch this episode, you need to go back on Hulu or wherever you can find the movie to watch it. Watch that movie because you'll see something in here which you won't understand that my buddy will get into in a few minutes. So,
yes, the movie is canon, guys. I don't know why there are some people who are saying that it's not canon. It's clearly canon.
Yeah, so, because now what we saw in this episode, this officially makes the movie officially canon now. It's in the canon. Even though before there were like legit hints and like mentions of the movie in the third season, here just guarantees that the movie is officially in the SAO canon.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like I said, if you have not seen Ordinal Scale, you need to go see that. Otherwise, go check out my spoiler review on YouTube if you want to get a quick rundown of the movie and stuff like that. But still go see it because it's a good movie. Anyways, Sword Art Online, Alicization, War of the Underworld, episode 17. So we start the episode off with Yui essentially getting a connection from the old SAO server. We don't know who it is still. It might have been who we saw in this week's episode, but I still don't know. Right now, they're not answering things that needs to be answered. So I'm guessing it's probably the character we saw this episode. Who's the character that was mentioned? So then we cut straight to the opening. Which I loved. Because they're like, okay, we're going to get to the opening. We're cutting the BS. We're getting to the point now. So this episode's going to be action-packed. So we start the episode off like how I called it. So I called it that Poe would probably kick Kirito down in the wheelchair. Hell, I called it in the last week's video. He exactly did that. And he was kind of like, come on, wake up, Blackie. You know, stuff like that. You know, essentially mocking him and stuff like that. So he sees Yu-Gi-Oh's sword, his blue crystal sword, I believe that's what they called it. He takes that, and Kirito, as you see, reacts to it, and he's like just reaching to get it back, and he's like, "Why would you want with this broken dingy thing?" And he throws it on to the side, and you see Kirito reacting to this because you know Yu-Gi-Oh was a big thing in his life and stuff like that. So then. It looks like Mr. Poe is about to kill Kirito because he got him up in the position he's about to chop his head off or something. And then Denzel just take it away from here.
And then, I'm sure nobody suspected this character to show up. He came zooming in.
Hold on before you say that. I have watched other reviews where there were some people that mentioned or they said they saw this character. My buddy to my left said it. I didn't believe him, but hey, he's a great prognosticator.
I noticed. Like, remember when Elizabeth gave that speech? That's where I first saw AG. I was like, oh my god, they're not doing this to me right now. They're not doing this to me right now. And that's when AG like anyways, that's when AG like suddenly ran in and saved Kirito, doing all those acrobatic things and all that stuff. And I literally screamed when I saw AG in here.
So if you predicted AG being here, you are a great prognosticator.
Give yourself a pat on the back, would you?
Go on with this.
Okay, so that's where like Poe's are like, who are you? And AG goes, I am Nautilus, because that's the name he went by when he was at the Night of the Blood Oath. And that's when they start clashing and stuff.
You good?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You froze up.
How about you?
Okay. I'll go.
I said, how about you take a sense? Yeah.
Okay. So it's not enough that we saw AG. We actually see the return of Yuna in this episode too. So again, spoilers mentioned. Spoiler warning, because listen, if you haven't seen the movie, I ain't not giving no Fs. I said at the beginning of the video, go check out the movie before you check out this review and before you go check out this episode. So we're going into spoiler territories here. Now, AG was the antagonist, well, one of the antagonists in the movie. Yuna was the main reason because of it. Without going, well, essentially, and what you see in this episode, if you still don't know the dynamic, again, spoilers, warnings. AG and Yuna had a romantic relationship in the original SAO, but she ended up dying in the original SAO, and her dad tried to recreate her in the movie. That's essentially the thing, and AG worked alongside the dad to try to do that. So if I just spoiled the movie for you, go cry in a corner. You should have checked the movie out before you saw this episode, which I did give you a spoiler warning anyways. So don't bash me in the comments. You spoiled Ordinal Scale for me. I don't know how you didn't see Ordinal Scale, but okay. We also see that, just like Mr. Gabriel on the other side fighting Sinon, Poe can eventually possess people now with his aura.
Yeah, apparently. That's exactly my reaction to this whole episode. Oh, hey guys.
Okay. Look, I'm not trying to say that you need to make a strong antagonist and stuff like that. You can say this is a nitpick, but these weird power scalings of these characters in Gabriel and Poe with the abilities they have compared to our current cast of characters, I'm like, well, shit. If Poe is able to possess people and Gabriel's supposed to do all this stuff, why can't Asuna and the others do all this stuff converting their accounts over? But okay.
Maybe, you know what I feel like? Maybe they will. They will end up getting their original accounts. I mean, come on. Have you seen how Kirito got his original account back? Anything is possible at this point.
Well, especially with the fact that what AG did later in the episode, he transformed, and even Yuna transformed back into their old original SAO designs.
Because wow, this new season is defying all logic at this point. So,
honestly, I can definitely see people about this part of the story start to get a little upset because they're gonna be like, okay, so Gabriel's just a broken character, Poe's just a broken character. I guarantee you that's gonna be the one thing about this season of Sword Art Online Alicization that people are just going to rip apart, with them saying just the ass pulls in terms of power scaling makes no sense compared to the first two seasons whatsoever. I will, and to be honest, I kind of will agree with that point, because in the past two seasons of SAO, we have not seen characters do shit that Poe and Gabriel are doing in the original SAO and even Gun Gale Online. Can you say I'm nitpicking and I'm trying to say Aniplex is trying to make this more of a action-packed cinematic thing? Yes. But at the same time, we're gonna be over here criticizing Kirito having all these ass pulls out of the ass in season 1 and season 2 and all that stuff. Let's do it for the villains here too, guys. Look, that's my thing. I'm just shocked that the Poe and Gabriel are so OP to the point that when Kirito wakes up, this guy is going to be god tier level.
You know, I get where you're going with this, but I personally, I find it more and more exciting the more OP the villain is, because come on, at least there's no pushover, and it makes things like
I definitely think they're doing it for the cool factor. I'm just saying, I partially agree with people's stances on the fact that the way they're overpowering Poe and Gabriel is maybe a little bit too much. Like, this dude can possess people now. We already seen, like I said last week, Gabriel can apparently summon the demons from the underworld and ride them like he's a deity from his freaking Alicization account. And now Poe can apparently possess people.
Well, this is the Underworld thing. It's full of those mysterious things.
Anyways, getting back to the episode after that off little tangent. He starts to possess the other players. Now, the two knights, red knights we've been shown on, who again, I'm still waiting on them to do something. They're really focusing on these two people, but they ain't done shit. If you're gonna make me focus on two characters, make them do something. Don't let them stand there and be like, don't fight, guys, you have to fight it. Because eventually they find, the other red knights find out Poe is apparently a part of Laughing Coffee, and now they finally find out they've been duped.
Until they get brainwashed.
Yuna actually, before all they find out again, Yuna actually starts singing again, which was her thing. She's a singer in the movie. And essentially, for the first time, she cures all the, like, I guess the people being possessed over them and stuff like that. She also gives AG a stat boost, but so much for that stat boost when the dude literally got killed in this episode. Going now, listen, if you didn't think shit was crazy last week, more things got crazy this week. And we get the apparent backstory of the Laughing Coffin guild leader, Poe. So, one, we see him in a hospital bed looking at an old man and a boy, I kid you not. Now, Denzel, he's still skeptical about this, but I'm telling you, I believe that dude legit is Kirito. A younger Kirito who needed a kidney transplant. May I go on?
Go on, man.
We also find out that Poe comes from a poor background. His mom does not like him whatsoever. So they're obviously living in the freaking slums. Like, they're poor as hell and everything. Then we get this very intriguing revelation in this one scene when he's talking to that same old man you saw. So he goes on to mention, like, you need to cut it out, essentially. You know, after all these years, now you're trying to be my dad or something like that. And I was like, Dad, okay. Where was this going? So then the dad mentions, well, you see, your half-brother is having a kidney, failure, and he needs a transplant. So this dude is actually asking his son to give his half-brother a kidney transplant. And one, Poe is not down with this. He's like, you cannot be serious. But eventually, he goes with the plan. So he gets the kidney transplant. And then after he's walking out of the hospital, we see that old man in this room. And again, if you still haven't believed that that's not Kirito, they focus on this kid in this scene. He moves the covers, and you see a black-haired kid, same skin tone, same black eyes, and it is revealed to be Kirito. So Kirito is the half brother of Poe.
God. At this point, I thought, oh, guys, at this point, when I thought I watched everything of SAO, I thought I knew everything about Kirito, but it turns out I knew nothing. Why did they do this to me? So that's the reason why Kirito was pretty much adopted with Sugoha and his current mother?
I'm gonna have to go back to the exact reason why he was adopted by Suguha and his mother. I'll have to go back to season 1 to check that out. I'll have to look it up, the reason why behind it. But yeah, and also if that's the case, then that means Suguha is the half cousin / half sister to this guy too. Listen, bro, I don't have time for this nonsense. Listen, that is a game changer. Now, Poe when they cut back to the present, Poe doesn't mention anything about being or saying anything about Kirito, like, come on, wake up, brother. Now,
that's why I'm still skeptical. What if there's more to the story that we don't know?
Now, when Kirito probably wakes up finally, I envision Poe probably saying, well, yeah, hey, brother, it's been a long time. So, yeah, we also find out how he got the nerve gear. He essentially stole it, and we find out the name meaning behind Poe. And essentially it means Prince of Hell, which is your title of the episode. So, yeah, it makes sense. Now it kind of makes sense why he resents Kirito or he hates him, because he kind of gave up his kidney for him, even though that is something nice to do. But maybe because he felt like the dad was so estranged from his family. It's reminding me of a storyline. It's reminding me of a storyline from a show or another anime where this one person got married to somebody, had a good life with this main character, but the other character was married this one chick into essentially who was poor, and essentially gave payments to keep them afloat. I forgot what that's from, but it's kind of from that storyline. If you know what I'm talking about, put that in the comment section. But there has been a storyline where the main character of a show has a dad who he gets the good end, but like you find out he has a relative in terms of a stepbrother or a half brother or some sort of brother like that, where they're not so good and they hate them for it. So I guess the meaning behind Poe potentially not liking Kirito is a decent reason, although I would see him hating more towards the dad and he's taking it out on Kirito. Who knows? We're gonna find out. Like I said, if you're still on one of the skeptical bunches like my buddy over here, I won't be shocked if they won't reveal it. If they'll reveal to Poe, if Poe reveals it by either next week or in 2 weeks that he's the half brother of Kirito. Because Kirito we awaken sometime probably by the end of next week's episode, which I'm gonna hate. But I guarantee you they're going to do it. But if anything, Kirito's the half brother of Poe. So yeah, let's move on. Now, now we see our two goddesses struggling against the opposition. Now, Sinon, she literally gets her leg blown off here. And she just, for some reason, I'm not trying to dish on Sinon, but she really gives up really freaking easy. I will say that. I'm not trying to say that's not a character. Well, it kind of is somewhat of a character flaw. But I thought we fixed this whole confidence, believing in yourself issue way back in season 2. But still here, I understand she's a girl and she's a kid. She's scared at the moment. But why are you giving up now? I'm like, keep fighting, girl. You're not dead yet. Anyways, when it looks like all hope is lost and she looks like she's about to take a bullet to the chest, the magical electrocutioner device of Kirito saves her yet again. Physics, please? Can I get the science in this?
I think it's more mental. I think it's just more science.
It's something like that, bro. So, yeah, Kirito's device, little thing that saved him in season 2 is saving Sinon's life here for the second time. For the second time, guys. So there's some kind of horsepower behind this. I don't know if this is the wheel of Kirito or some other stuff going on, but this is getting insane here, folks. And a very gory scene for Leafa. She's going up against the Red Knights, and she's losing arms. My God, healing it back together, only for her to essentially get like speared with her eyeball. And I was like, ah.
Yeah, that was an unexpected gory scene right there.
Listen, I love my girl Sugu and I love my girl Leafa. I say she's definitely top 3 best girl in SAO. But man, they really are giving her punishment, man. First the tentacle scene when it finally returns. Now this? Losing arms and almost losing eyeballs? Come on! That's like at least she had a badass scene. Then a few minutes later where she's like, I am the brother of Kirito. And does the same attack Kirito did against Quinella.
Well, Cameron, I think I already mentioned this to you before this whole season 3 showed up. That this new season in general is gonna contain blood and gore, so you can expect it to be,
Well, I knew that. I just didn't believe they'd be like, my God, they are really going all out with this.
Yes, I told you. Yeah. When I first watched this season, I was like, wow, they're really stepping up their game this season.
So actually cutting back to Sinon, she does this one big attack. It damages freaking Gabriel. You would think that he would be maybe logged out of his account. Oh no. He takes as bad as a scar to the face like Sugo did in season 1. That's how his eyeball looks like. He also lost an arm.
Yep.
And then guess what? He just flies off, going after Alice more than likely. So yeah.
Yeah, now I'm worried about Alice.
So now Alice is gonna be the next problem. I don't know if Sinon can heal. We've seen that Asuna and Leafa or Sugu can heal themselves. We don't know if Sinon can. It would only make sense if their goddess accounts, they would all be able to heal. We have not yet to see that from Sinon, but maybe we'll see that next week. We actually cut back to Higa and Mr. Guy who was working with Sugo. I forgot Chick's name, but she ends up saving him. Dude, I have... Oh my God.
I can't even get mad at how he...
So, anyways, guy fell off the freaking railing. So, I think he's dead. I think he's good for dead. Just keep that covered up and nobody will find out you killed somebody, girl. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
So, he's dead. So, there's nothing else. And if you're still not convinced he's not dead, that dude looked like he fell like 13 stories down. Because they showed a bottomless pit. I saw that, I'm like, oh, so he's dead. And all because he flinched to a damn wrench. See, that's what happens, Sugo. Your little man, your little cronies are gone. He's dead. Now Sugo needs to die. Whatever.
Still goes in jail.
Anyways, we get a nice, funny little scene between Higa and, again, girl, I forgot her name, even though I should have wrote it down on my notes. My boy Higa is hitting on her, and he's like, why don't we go out, for a dinner after this? And she's like, okay, we can have a burger or so. And I'm like, damn, she just wants a burger. You got to step my game up, Higa. Even Higa's like, man, I could do a better date than this.
I can ship it.
Definitely. Higa and that girl XX now. We got another sort out online couple. Hey, she needs to be happy after what happened to Kayaba. So trust me. She's cute. She's cute. I think her and Higa work well together. Hopefully Higa doesn't turn out bad like Kayaba. But hopefully he doesn't, because I know he's not going to be a bad guy. Anyways, the last scene is he connects all the goddesses' accounts to Kirito's main account, and he's like, "It's time to wake up, Kirito." So essentially we get the really, obvious scene where everyone's putting their belief in Kirito, as we all know, which is all the three goddess girls. Asuna, Lifa, and Sinon, they do their typical thing. And you see Kirito's body light up. And then you cut over to Kirito, like in the openings and the endings of him in some kind of school room. And episode cuts off. They're wrong for that. Oh, shit! So, you know how I just flipped that water bottle? Where is it? I don't know if you guys can see it, but it actually stood on its bottom.
I like how you barely noticed.
No, I legit looked over and I saw it. I just threw it up and it's literally on its top where it should be standing. I'm a boss. Anyways, so it seems like next week, we're gonna get the interior thinking mind of Kirito as Yu-Gi-Oh wakes him up in his inner mind, and then probably by next week, because I know they're gonna do it, they're gonna have Kirito finally wake up to the end to confront his half brother or Poe, and then that's when they're gonna cut the episode short next thing, and then we have to wait 2 weeks to see Poe versus Kirito. I saw that and I was like, you done it. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that.
This season is just insane. I don't know how much more I can take.
Listen, I thought this season's getting crazy. Listen, okay, first things first. Can they start with the revelations, please? Because I can't take another revelation. These revelations are too much for my heart to take.
We're probably gonna need one more, because wait for Poe, because I still need some explaining.
Anyway.
I mean, just there's got to be more to for the reason why he's mad at Kirito, aside from the transplant. Just got to be a reason. Okay.
I guess the fact that he always stopped him from doing his thing. So, yeah. I'm gonna get out of here, guys, because I want to go watch the Clippers. 2, I got a long day of graphics work for my internship I have to do, and yeah. So, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on everything that was revealed. Are you still a skeptic of Poe being Kirito's half-brother? I'm already sold on it. Yeah. You, like I said, it's okay to be a skeptic. If you feel like they need to explain more, I feel like if Poe just says brother, that confirms it. But I think they already confirmed it here as well. Because listen, we have not seen any other black-haired individuals with a bowl cut. Also, predictions for next week, but even though we're getting into very obvious territory now on what predictions are going to happen.
I'll say.
So yeah, also hit the subscribe button if you want to get more SAO content and stuff like that. So we're gonna get out of here. We'll catch you guys on the next video. So till then, guys, hopefully you guys are having a great and safe day. Peace.
Peace.